Hello?
Hello, doctor, can you hear me?
Hello, yes. Can the rest of us, everybody else, can you hear us properly, loud and clear? Welcome to the first live session of this series of the EduPower of Blended Learning, brought to you by the EduPower couple. And we are Billy, who is there, ready for the show. And myself, hello Tom, Susan, Brian, hello. We are very happy to be here this evening in Spain. It's 6 p.m. in the evening. We are recording, we hope we are recording the live session properly. So we'd like you all to know that this is being recorded first of all. Hello, I can see people are still starting to come in, so we're going to give a few minutes before we actually start. How are you, Susan? Aloha, how are you? Lots of people from different parts of the world, as usual. Well, while everybody else is coming in, we'd just like to say that we are opening today this series of 3 live sessions. We'll be with you November the 17th as well, and December the 1st. Hello, team in Barcelona, so same time zone, that's very nice. We'd like to mention that this is part of the micro teaching in pairs on WizIQ, hosted by Dr. Nelly Dutch, who is very sorry, but she cannot be here with us today because she's teaching face-to-face for a change today. And this micro teaching in pairs, hosted by Dr. Nelly, is officially starting on the 5th of November. So we'd like to invite you all as well to move to the micro teaching in pairs on the 5th of November, where we will also be aligning with everybody else. By the way, if you do not have the actual URL, I think it's on WizIQ already there for you, but it is also here on the presentation, which is available at the platform too, at WizIQ. Hi Nives, how are you? Welcome, welcome all. So what we'd like to share, Billy and I today, is blended learning. Blending, flipping, and boosting your teaching online, as Tom said to me yesterday. Talking a bit about the advantages and disadvantages of blended learning and how we experienced that last year. I think we should start with a bit of context before actually going into the experience that we'd like to share with you. First of all, I'd like you to know that Billy and I were student and teacher, right? Yes. Billy was a former student of mine at university last year, master's degree for primary student, now teachers, primary students then, but teachers of primary students in CLIL education. Oh, thank you, Tom, for the link for the WizIQ, teachers micro teaching at WizIQ. Thank you, Tom. So now we've, after being a student and teacher, now we've come to pair up for these e-learning initiative, thanks to Dr. Nelly. And I think that's the first added value of blended learning, because I think without blended learning, maybe Billy and I wouldn't have been able to pair up at all, or maybe we wouldn't have been even able to keep in touch. So after this bit of context, part of the experience that we are going to share with you this afternoon is how we went through that blended learning methodology. First, through flipped classrooms. then teamwork and project-based learning, and all linked together with technology, which is again what we are experiencing today. Why did I decide to go on blended learning, first of all? Well, because of organization, right? At the university where we met last year, face-to-face sessions were twice a week, and they were divided into 2-hour face-to-face sessions, right? So I thought that was not enough. When I arrived there, my intention, my aim was to try and guide these future CLUE primary teachers into PBL and into flipping their own lessons when they went out of university and into their own classes to teach their own real students. And I thought that contents were already in the net, so I wanted to bring closer primary education and university teaching. I thought university was too high. University teachers kept on teaching in a traditional way, delivering content face-to-face, and university students were missing the chance to do hands-on work, which is, on the other hand, what their own students were bound to need when they went into their own classrooms. So I needed blended for that. I needed these students of mine, these future teachers, to be able to put all these flipping classroom methodology, all this teamwork, all this project-based learning methodology into practice. So I thought the best way for them to put it into practice in their own lessons in the future was to do it. And so I delivered content in advance so we could focus on hands-on work, blogging together, collaborative teamwork in class. Hands-on job was my main aim. I wanted them to do something, to be able to produce something. Of course, 2 hours on Mondays, 2 hours on Wednesdays was not enough. And that's why technology is there for you, and that's the beauty of blended learning. Because when they went out of their lessons, having blended learning, they would be able to keep on learning anywhere, anytime. If they had the contents delivered in advance by me, they could view them, investigate, learn, gain knowledge anywhere, anytime, at home, whenever they wanted, through their mobile devices, on the underground, bus, free time, whenever. And then they could come to me, their face-to-face sessions, and produce digital artifacts. That was the main issue. But of course, you are wondering how we did it, I guess. So we divided the methodology in 3 separate but linked together with technology aspects. Face-to-face sessions, twice a week, 4 hours, university, and then I set up an online classroom. I set up an online classroom in providing you with the name edu20.org, which is a free platform to set up virtual schools. I will give you the link in a minute. So what I first did was I set up an online school there, and then I set up our own classroom. The platform is free, totally free, up to 2,000 students, free, and you can set up assignments, missions. You have a grader book, you have forums, you have debates, you have chats. You can organize the students in teams, which was something very nice for me, because that was one of my other aims, have them work in teams. I then went for team blogging. So I combined the 3 aspects: face-to-face sessions, online classroom where I delivered all the content in advance, where they could organize themselves in teams, where they could be in touch after the face-to-face sessions finished, and they could set up their own timetables, chat, have debates, discussions, create their own portfolios, so they could show evidence of learning as well, and they could also hand in assignments that I could grade through rubrics and provide them feedback with. And then team blogging through a collaborative global classroom team, which was the one for the whole classroom, and I will provide you with the link in a minute. And then foster their own team blogging, their own team outcomes through their blogging experience. The one you've got here, Book Me Library, which is the single example that we are going to share now with you, and whose main role here was played by Billy, who is my pair partner now. No former students anymore. He's my colleague and peer co-presenter here today. He has been the co-designer of this live session and of the whole e-learning initiative that we are sharing with the Micro Teaching in Pairs initiative. And so now I'm going to disappear, and Billy is taking from now, because he is the one who can actually tell you first person how he lived the experience that I started for them. Okay? So Billy, it's your turn now.
Thank you.
All yours.
Okay, great. Can you hear me perfectly? I'm sorry, the audio went out there for a second. Again, I want to thank Dr. Garcia for this opportunity. Of course, to WizIQ and Dr. Deutsch for letting us participate in this live session. As Dr. Garcia said, I was her student in February to May of 2000 of this year, and from her with her help, three other people and I started this example of e-learning, e-teaching, e-collaborating. So it was actually a quite positive experience. So what we had opportunity to do with Dr. Garcia was that she set up a challenge, an e-project for us. And from this, we divided ourselves into groups, and one of the groups that we came up with was myself and three other people. They were more than willing to work, we were more than willing to work together to foster reading. So first, Dr. Garcia set up this project, this challenge, this e-challenge, and this e-challenge was to create a form of e-learning. And so some ideas were like teaching teaching art through new technologies, teaching music through new technologies. And in our group, we decided to do to create an library. Excuse me, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm stuttering a little bit. Anyway, but we would like to show you, Dr. Garcia, if you can help me. Could we show them our trailer that we created for the beginning of the e-project? If that's not too much problem, or there you go. hope that was exciting for y'all. That it was for me. That trailer was just a minute long, but Lord knows the work that went into it was more than 3 or 4 hours. Actually, getting the clips together, editing it together. Although we used iMovies, although it's supposed to be a very easy tool to use, which it is. Actually, it is, but it does take a while to get all that together. Anyway, so that was our kind of our first foot into the door of this project, which was in the beginning we were trying to see what we could do with it, and the reason we wanted to do this, obviously, first of all, we wanted to share everything that we did with the educational world, and we actually got to use it, or I did actually in several of my classrooms, and which I'll explain a little bit later. And also, well, we felt really connected with people around the world who were sharing when we were sharing this project. Of course, this is a type of microblogging, and we had several discussions within our group what how we could continue to do this. I'll continue here. Working with this e-project, of course, it's excuse me, I haven't said the name. It's called Book Me Library, and it's a blogspot. It's Book Me Library .blogspot.es, and you can check us out there. And from this project, first, what we did, obviously, we used many tools, many online tools to create books, basically. Dr. Garcia gave us these great resources through her online classroom, and from there, well, it just became like a snowball effect. First, we created one book, and then created another book, and in the end, we created this like kind of this small library, which you can check out at our blog. And of course, none of this, would have been able without the help of Dr. Garcia. Obviously, I can't praise her enough on all the work that she does and she's done with us, and as a teacher. So again, I want to say thank you to Dr. Garcia. Can you hear me? Someone, what are you doing? Okay, loud and clear. Okay, great. All right, great. And for this presentation, I created a walkthrough. So I think definitely we could show them this next. Dr. Garcia?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, sorry. I don't think walkthrough can be played inside the classroom because it's not on YouTube.
Okay.
But it is on WizIQ, and I will place the link in a minute on the chat room.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. We can play the walkthrough in WizIQ, okay? But as Dr. Garcia said, she'll put it up in a second. Well, again, apart, from us doing this this blog, there were other groups. There were in total. There were 8 groups, 8 teams, and each of us got to present a presentation at a virtual roundtable conference, if I remember correctly, back in May, which again was a really great experience. This is the second time I do a live session, and the first live session was with the roundtable conference, which was again a wonderful experience. We'll continue going with the presentation here. Okay. Using all these creating all this digital content, I just want to say that first of all, it's not difficult. It's just getting your feet wet. First, we thought it was a group effort, but first we were all very computer illiterate. Although all of us had Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, we all chatted. We all used WhatsApp. None of us really knew how to build a blog or even try to write a story. But once you start looking through all the neat, interesting tools that you can use to create content, it's just amazing what you can do. We've used Storybird, Story Jumper, we used augmented reality, we used Mowgli. The list just goes on and on of all the things that we were able to use to create this project. And there you go. Dr. He has put up the link. Thank you very much for the tutorial for the Book Me library, okay, which is just a short 4-minute video of just a basic run through of our blog and what we've done since March, okay. If anybody has any questions, obviously you can ask us, and we can go from there. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Now, even his video is gone, but if you can hear and you can feel me, I can take it from there for a while Billy comes back. I think Billy was explaining to you, yes, he has frozen too, yes. Billy, I think if you go out and in again, that will maybe sort out the issues, refresh, that's right, yes. He's frozen and now he's got to refresh, good thing. Anyway, what Billy was talking about was his experience with blended learning. Getting very cold, actually, indeed, Tom, it is getting very cold this evening. Okay, yes, online technology is like that. Sometimes it works properly, sometimes it doesn't. But still, what I must insist on here is that all these kinds of things wouldn't be at all possible if blended learning and blended teaching was not in the focus of it all. Because would you rather think that all this could actually take place only in face-to-face sessions? I don't think so. But I'm ready to answer if you think the opposite. Anyway, but going back to how we set up all this, if you go back for a little while and we go back to the virtual classroom that we set up all together, I think one of the added values of this virtual classroom that we started for our blended learning and teaching was the fact that we could set up groups, teams. So they decided which team they wanted to work in, and they decided out of a range of missions that I provided them with, they decided what the mission was for them. And Billy and his team decided to set up the successful mobile library that whose outcome was the Book Me library blog. But that was only the outcome. Behind that outcome, there was a process. And I think that's a very important part of it too. First, they had to personalize their own workspace. I think it was very important that they customized the virtual place they were going to work together, because I think it is important to make it personal. That can be one of the drawbacks of blended learning, that you don't see them all the time. You see them twice a week, once a week, 4 times a week, but the rest of the time, when the classroom door closes, they must keep on working together in teams, collaboratively. Oh, Billy is back. Okay. So after they have personalized their team space to work, I think that made them feel the need to connect outside. Once that classroom door closed, they had to go on. They had to go on viewing content. They had to go on gaining knowledge to be able to actually make that Book Me Library project a reality. And that was something they could do through the discussions on the online classroom, chats, microblogging through Twitter, as Billy was showing you, feeling that they were part of a community, not only inside the actual face-to-face sessions, but outside too. And I'm going back where Billy, you stopped, so now you can take it back if you like. Are you there? Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me?
Sorry, Billy, just a minute. Nives is making a question. Was it hard to get them motivated to continue the work outside the classroom? For me, it wasn't hard because I'm very motivated to continue work outside the classroom myself. So for me, it wasn't hard. But Billy is the actual one who can tell you if they were truly motivated to work outside the classroom or not. So Billy, I leave you with Nives so you can answer her question, and I'm going to disappear again.
Thank you. Sorry for that. Okay, thank you, Nimes. Excuse me. Were we motivated? Yes, we were definitely motivated to work outside the classroom. This project, as I said, just first we weren't really sure. Thank you, Dr. Garcia. I said we really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, but once the technology bug bit each of us, we were definitely infected, and we were definitely working overtime on the weekends and during the week with our team to create more ebooks and to just feel part of something, something bigger, of a project that it wasn't just one person, it was a group. And again, it was a wonderful time, and working with my partners, and just the experience of it all was such a really positive, I could even say life-changing experience, because I'd never worked so much with technology, and now I use it even more than I use it every day, or try to use it as much as possible in my classroom. So as I was telling you, sorry, more about our blog. We used QR codes to for SoundCloud, and we got to. Well, I got some help from my first graders last year, and we read some books, or they read some books using their phonetic skills, because that's we were learning how to read in first grade in my school, in my primary school. We were learning how to read through phonetics. And actually, if you scan this QR code, it actually does send you to an example. It's her name is Julia, and she is reading. No, I can't remember the book right now. But you can, if you scan it, you can definitely hear her. I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I think we're all still students. And as I said, it'll take you to a SoundCloud. It's one of my first graders, Julia. She does a wonderful job reading this book, and we have, if I remember correctly, I think we have 6 different examples of my students reading phonetic books through our Book Me library. Yes, if you scan it, it'll definitely take you to our Book Me library SoundCloud profile, and you can listen to several other ones. Also, in the beginning, we had a podcast done by Jacob and John, who were also 2 members from our group. Yes, you can definitely just scan it, and it will send you to the SoundCloud. I'm going to and here's our group. Jacob is the giant who's standing next to me, and then there's John, and there's Jose Luis. This is a clip from the trailer, and then on our left you can see our logo with the M for Book Me Library, and having our podcasts and our podcast of students reading our books. And hopefully, I think I'm not sure if they're online today. I told them they should definitely be online today, but they're John and Jacob. They're language assistants like I am, and so I know they're really busy with private lessons, after-school programs, and just being amazing teachers. And Jose Luis is very kind of a little bit difficult to get out, but hopefully he can take a look later. All the working with the project, we, as Dr. Garcia said, we were students in our class, so we met up twice a week. Apart from meeting twice a week, obviously we had every Tuesday evening, we met up for an hour through the classroom platform to chat about ideas that we could do for the coming week related to the books and or any sort of project we were trying to accomplish that week. We divided the tasks every week, what we had to do, and the project worked very easily. And once we got rolling, once we got our feet wet, our hands dirty, it just kept on going. It just ran pretty smoothly. And there you can have the both are excuse me, you can speak. Okay, that's the link to the With Me Library trailer, which we showed you earlier. And then that's another example of a SoundCloud audio.
Do not worry about the chat. I can see to that while you go on with
Okay,
your
okay.
experience. Don't worry.
No, but I also want like I tried it earlier, and you can using the QR scanner, you can scan it from directly from the presentation, and it took me anyway to the using my mobile phone. It took me to the SoundCloud podcast. Well, apart from again working with my with Dr. Garcia, my three other teammates, we got this really cool thing, which is the first time I had ever seen it, and so far it's the only one I have. But it's a badge. We got this ICT Primary Bilingual Teacher badge, which I thought was quite neat, and I'm going to try to incorporate it with with my students in high school, because I teach high school students in first and second year bachiller, and hopefully next trimester we'll do an e-project within the classroom. Hush hush right now. I'll see what the head teacher, if the head teacher will let me do it. But I at the end result, instead of them getting like a positive or another kind of mark, that if they do all the work, they can definitely get a badge, and they can work on getting more as they continue through the education process. Exactly. The podcast is six of the podcasts are with our students. Some are very good readers, and we actually promoted this for El Día del Libro, or International Book Day, and and then obviously we were trying to show the parents from first grade that our kids could read, and the parents obviously were just ecstatic about it, and they loved the idea. And this year they're actually asking about it again, and hopefully we can repeat this project again, or this exercise, or this idea, so they can we can continue to build on more experiences with the Book Me Library blog. I just I'll let Dr. Garcia take over, I think, after this now. But again, working, the blog is still working on it, and we'll continue to work on it, okay? So thank you very much for listening to me.
Well, thank you very much, Billy, for sharing with us all your experience. I cannot deny that I am very, very, very proud of Billy as my former student. But I consider Billy and his team the best example of the advantage of blended teaching and blended learning. And for me, they are also an example to set on my future master's degree students who are coming in February, and to keep on trying to flip lessons for them, and to put into practice blended learning, and motivating them to keep on learning while they are out of the classroom. I think that's important, that they realize that learning takes place anywhere, anytime, and that your time is precious. We're all very much pressed for time these days, and so we must take advantage of technology. And if technology helps us blending, helps us flipping and boosting our teaching and our learning online, I think we should take advantage of it. So if you have any questions, both Billy and I will be willing to answer anything that we can. And if not, stay tuned for the 17th of November, when the EduPower couple is coming back, and we will be actually giving you, we hope we will be able to give you a practical session about how to set up your own virtual classroom, like the one we did last year at university, or on edu20.org. And meanwhile, you can also join the official opening of teachers teaching online, micro teaching online at WizIQ with Dr. Nelly, and some of the people who have been following us today here, Susan, Tom, lots of others are going to be there as well. Billy and I are going to be there as well, and I'm sure it's going to be an excellent. So if you have any questions, we are willing to answer now, and if not, we will be willing again to be with you on the 17th of November for more of the EduPower of Blended Learning, and we are all looking forward to the official opening of the teachers micro teaching in pairs at WizIQ on November the 5th. Yes, on class page we've got everything there, material, resources. We will be adding more tutorials and all sorts of tips on the go. We will be willing to be adding for you. Oh, Tom, thank you for copying the chat. Susan, how did we do the poster? Online tool to make collage. Actually, I don't really know if I've got the URL at hand now, but don't worry because I will pass it on to you through WizIQ. Okay, collage, yeah, it is a collage. It was done online with two pictures, one picture from Billy there and myself, and then we did the magic with effects there. Thank you all for coming. If you've got any other questions, yes, great idea. We will continue the conversation in the class page. So we will catch up with you on Wednesday, the 5th November, for the official opening of the Dr. Nelly will be there as well on the 5th. And then please stay tuned for all the rest of the live sessions at WizIQ. Thank you very much for coming. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye.